Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. I hope we're all doing fine. And today we're going to continue with the final part of Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, the Appendix part. All right, let's continue. When he wishes to compliment Marcus, he declares one or other of his letters has the true Tulan ring. Marcus gives his nice to reading when he ought to be sleeping. He exercises himself in verse composition and on rhetorical themes. It is very nice of you, he writes to Fronto, to ask for my hexameters. I would have sent them at once if I had them by me. The fact is, my secretary, Anicetus, you know who I mean, did not pack up any of my compositions for me to take away with me. He knows my weakness. He was afraid that if I got hold of them, I might, as usual, make smoke of them. However, there was no fear for the hexameters. I must confess that truth to my master, I love them. I study at night, since the day is taken up with the theater. I'm weary of an evening and sleepy in the daylight, and so I don't do much. Yet I have made extracts from 60 books, 5 volumes of them, in these latter days. But when you read, remember that the 60 includes plays of Novius, the farces, and some little speeches of Scipio. Don't be too much startled at the number. You remember your Polemon, but I pray you do not remember Horace, who has died with polio, as far as I am concerned. Farewell, my dearest and most affectionate friend, most distinguished consul, and my beloved master, whom I have not seen these 2 years. Those who say 2 months, count the days. Shall I ever see you again? Sometimes Fronto sends him a theme to work up, and thus am Lucilius, tribune, tribune of the people, violently throws into prison and free Roman citizen against the opinion of his colleagues who demand his release. For this act, he is branded by the censor, analyze the case, and then take both sides in turn, attacking and defending. Or again, a Roman consul, doffing his state robe, dons the gauntlet, and kills a lion amongst the young men at the quinquarters in full view of the people of Rome. Denunciation before the censors. The prince has a fair knowledge of Greek and quotes from Homer, Plato, Euripides, but for some reason Fronto dissuaded him from this study. His meditations are written in Greek. He continued his literary studies throughout his life, and after he became emperor, we still find him asking his advisor for copies of Cicero's letters, by which he hopes to improve his vocabulary. Pronto helps him with a supply of smiles, which, it seems, he did not think of readily. It is to be feared that the fount of Marcus' Aquinas was pumped up by artificial means. Some idea of his literary style may be gathered from the letter which follows. I heard Polemo declaim the other day to say something of things sublunary. If you ask if you ask what I thought of him, listen. He seems to me an industrious farmer, endowed with the greatest skill, who has cultivated a large estate for corn and wines only, and indeed with a rich return of fine crops. But yet in that land of his there is no Pompeian figure, Arician vegetable, Arician, no Tarantina rose, or pleasing coppice, or thick grove, or shady plane tree. All is for use rather than for pleasure, such as one ought rather to command, but cares not to love. A pretty bold idea is it not, and rash judgment to pass censure of a man of such reputation. But whereas I remember that I'm writing to you, I think I'm less bold than you would have me. In that point, I'm wholly undecided. There is an unpremeditated hendecasyllable for you. So before I begin to poetize, I'll take it easy with you. Farewell, my heart's desire, you whereas best beloved, most distinguished consul, master most sweet. Farewell, I ever pray, sweetest soul. What a letter do you think you have written me? I could make bold to say that never did she who bore me and nursed me write anything so delightful and honey sweet. And this does not come of your fine style and excellence. Otherwise, not my mother only, but all who breathe. To the pupil, never was anything on earth so fine as his master's excellence. On this theme, Marcus fairly bubbles over with enthusiasm. Well, if the ancient Greeks ever wrote anything like this, let those who know decide it. For me, if I dare say so, I never read my invective of Catus so fine as your encomium. Or if my lord could be sufficiently praised, he would have been undoubtedly by you. This kind of thing is not done nowadays. It were easier to match Thaddeus, easier to match Apelles, easier in word to match Demosthenes himself or Cato himself, than to match this finest and perfect work. Never have I read anything more refined, anything more after the ancient type, anything more delicious, anything more Latin. Oh, happy you to be endowed with excellence so great, O happy I to be tender in charge of such a master, or arguments, or arrangement, or elegance, or wit, or beauty, or words, or brilliancy, or subtlety, or grace, or treatment, or everything. Mischief take me if you ought not to have a rod put in your hand one day, a diadem on your brow, a tribunal raised for you. Then the herald would summon us all. Why do I say us? Would summon all, all, summon, summon, summon all. Those scholars and writers, one by one, you would beckon them forward with your rod and admonish them. Hit herter to have. I have had no fear of these admonition. Many things help me to enter within your school. I write this in the utmost haste. For awareness, I am sending you so kindly a letter from my lord. What needs a longer letter of mine? Farewell then, glory of Roman excellence, boast of your friends, Magnifica, most delightful man, most distinguished consul, master, most sweet. Alright, guys. So it goes on, and we're gonna continue with this, but tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today. See you tomorrow. Bye.